everybody, here we are in episode number 14 now, in a community Q&A focused stream. I'm your host for today, Javier, game engineer in Void Crew and partner in Hutlihut Games. On the left, Mr. Lemon Sauce or Daniel, welcome.
Hey everyone.
That is
Yep, I'm a CG artist here on Void Crew.
Here on the left, main guy making this stream happen, and well, all of these sounds that we're also hearing, Mr. Tomasz, audio designer in the project.
Hello everyone.
We got some questions regarding Endless. Somebody's asking if there's going to be a save system considered for it.
It is a very requested feature in the community, but we currently don't envision the game needing it. Allow me to say, in our final vision of the game, right? So what we would prefer is that you go into a run with your friends, basically, and you play for some time, and regardless of how much time you can spend, you feel rewarded for it. If you're a person that likes to do very long runs and has the time to do very long runs, in a row, of course, you would still get the very gratifying feeling for that. You will be able to challenge multiple boss fights, get deep into the run, get more and a bigger challenge. But if you're a person that prefers or needs to play shorter runs, you can also get that experience from the game. But the saving is something that, even though we will be interested in, exploring and experimenting with in the future, it doesn't currently fall within our plans, mainly because we don't need it to achieve that part of the vision, which is our core vision. We can see how it would be cool for other things, like having like a session that you can continue with your friends in another day, but it is not what we are currently trying to polish in the game. So that's the best answer I can give you right now. It's not a definite no for the future, but it is not being developed in the plans at the moment.
So somebody's asking if you're gonna get some bigger guns, because they would love to see some bigger explosions, and I support that question, because I do love my big explosions. Because that just means I get to make more explosion VFX.
In regards to new weapons, it's of course something that we're very passionate about, something that we have in our internal notes that we would like to get to eventually is, for example, a co-op requiring weapon, where at least in multiplayer groups you would need like multiple sources of activation to be activated simultaneously, and then you would create a huge blast like this player is asking for. But that is currently not in our development pipeline for the same reasons as before. We are working on very cool stuff that we are, as you can see, sharing and dropping slowly, and we will share more very soon. And it's just something that will come in a future content drop whenever we get the time allocated into it.
Very nice question.
All right.
Yeah, asking will there be modules that are taking up more space? So like a bigger gun that just like takes up more space, like more slots, but like for example it's a missile launcher.
Modules that take up more slots. So let me see if I can find an example. Yeah, this is a perfect example, right? So this is something that actually some data miners and modders found in our game. But if you notice, between two of the modules, there is like another module slot. This is basically where a 2x1 build box would go into. And we at one point had actually 2x1 modules working in the game, and it was, a part of our pipeline to develop them. It is something we're still very interested in, because it's very interesting where you have to commit two spaces to get one result, right? It can lead to very interesting design decisions, and we are more than open to making that come back in the future, like definitely more than open. So yes, the answer is that we will get that. I can't give you an exact estimation as to when, but you can expect that to come sometime in the future. It has some challenges, like for example, what happens if you upgrade a module that becomes a 2x1, can that even happen, and so on. But it is something we're definitely very interested in.
What about the missing perks and the perk loadouts?
Right, so we already talked briefly about that in the beginning of the stream, but let me reiterate. As you can see, when we enter the perk tree, there is a lot of coming soon perks, as well as the coming soon superior class abilities that you see down here. On the next update, we are bringing those into the game. We are finalizing the perks with it. And yeah, that includes the superior version of the class abilities, like for example, the grappling hook that will allow you to reel carryables items towards you instead of you getting pulled towards them. So it's extremely cool. There's a sneak peek in our Discord and our Twitter that you guys can go and check out. I think it's very, very cool. And we will bring the other remaining perks as well and have a finalized version of it next update. So actually, next update we're bringing one of the biggest improvements we're going to bring into the fabrication is called blueprints. When you destroy something in the fabricator, you will be able to unlock its blueprint, and then you will be able to fabricate it from that point on. So for example, the epic large armor crate that we had gotten before, we could have recycled that one in the fabricator, and now we would be able to fabricate tier 3 bullet crates, which is very cool. You can also upgrade your fabricator to get access to more stuff, and it's just very cool.
About stuff that we scrapped along the way, I think relics were like not used for a long time, and then they came back, right?
Did they actually? Were they actually a thing in the past? I don't know that story actually.
I think that they were a thing like in the very early stages of the game, and then it just didn't fit to the gameplay, and now they suddenly did. So we got them back.
Some beta content right there.
Okay, I actually,
of course
I didn't know. That's very good.
Of course, we had to do the visuals and the sounds and all of that, but the idea was actually there, I think.
Yeah, that's very possible for sure. That's very nice actually. Very nice to know. But yeah, I mean, that happens a lot, right? That we have things that they end up getting scrapped. I think the biggest case, the biggest example in Void Cruise history has to be the tactical map. We used to have next to the pilot seat a terminal that you could interact with, and it would be like a 2D top-down version of the map, of the sector. And it would allow one of the roles in the game that no longer exists, actually, called the tactical officer, to play almost pretty much an entirely different version of the game that was more focused on that map. Like, you know, the target locking happened from that map, for example. Scanning happened from that map. Yeah, there was a bunch of mechanics that were built around that role that now they have made their way into the game in other various ways. But the entire, you know, minimap, let's call it, and terminal was completely scrapped. I think that's the biggest example I can think of. The way that we develop and that most studios develop throughout the world is by trial and error, by testing. You know, you think something is super fun and then you try it out and it ends up not being as fun, or vice versa. And yeah, playtesting is a core value of both game development in general and Hutlihut games and Void Crew in particular. We run lots of playtests with players, with people here in the office, online, our experimental group. Like, it's very important for us, and we really believe in it.
Will there be more unlocks? Like, you've reached level 10 and now you can drop another relic that wasn't available before.
That is currently not the plan, and there's a simple reason for it. We like that as part of the roguelike nature of the game, even when you just started playing, you can get access to all the cool stuff. That's why the things that we are unlocking based on ranks are the perks, which are more to make you feel more powerful even since the beginning, as well as the loadouts that achieve kind of the same. You're more powerful in the beginning of the run, but even a new player can become as powerful as you with all your perks would be, well, not with the perks, sorry, but with the loadout would be at the end of the run, right? We want to make sure that the game is fun without having to invest first 30 hours into it before it becomes very fun. That being said, it is possible that we will introduce other things other than loadouts into the level unlocks, other things that, and the cosmetics that we also have right now, other things that don't necessarily make the game less fun or make you have less content when you start, but perhaps some other systems. We will see about that. Currently nothing in the works for next update though.
There were some ideas also dropped. Cloaking device, temporary invisible, warp drive, jump a few kilometers ahead, cargo hold expansion, EMP, to disable nearby ships for a short duration. So any new modules?
Yeah, we're very interested in that, of course, and adding things like AoE damage, missiles, and so on. We'll see. That's content that we hopefully we dream that we'll one day be able to put it into the game. As long as you guys continue supporting us, we'll be able to continue updating the game throughout early access and after launch also, with free updates, expansions, and so on, and be able to bring a lot of content into the game with that.